While looking for a replay from the enemy team side for yesterday's battle, unable to find one, I found two other replays, Ace Tucker games with the T92 HMC, which
we can guarantee you that not a single armoured division will get done over for 15 bob a week.
Which were quite good battles. They start slowly, but then they pick up in interest. This one has a rather interesting ending, has a very interesting ending. And then the next one is an amazing battle where that player did a phenomenal amount of damage in an SPG. I have not seen so much damage in an SPG ever. So I thought they were both worth watching. As I said, the battles will start awkwardly. Both of them will start awkwardly. So this was a miss. The shot went nowhere near. I didn't check the stats of the two players, I have to say, but the second player has a 2 marked. T92 HMC SPG, so at least the second player is a very decent player. But this one, you'll see, when the time comes, another miss, when the time comes for, for some real action, he handles it very well. So, very awkward start. He's taken 2 shots, both of them were misses. He's done 0 damage, 0 assists, 0 everything.
Him just he was waking up.
Finally, he's on board with a little bit of damage, and it was lucky. So I think from now on it will be self-evident what is happening. There'll be some contributions. There was a bounce there actually against one of his heavies, another bounce against the heavy on the left. He's pointing out that he's gonna strike in the middle of these players. Here's another bounce, ricochet, and on the right it was a pen, and on the left a pen. Now he's ready to shoot.
Orthodontic Jake gave him a chilling night mouthwash.
And he misses again. He was very unlucky perhaps at the beginning, or overall. That was a hit, and he got some assist finally. So things start happening. Don't go away, because he's going to do really well. So what's happening here? He's fallen off a cliff. He's fallen off into the water. I don't know how he managed that. I think he was trying to put some distance. And now, is he going to drown? He just makes it. Could have been a very short replay had he drowned.
Just a flesh wound.
So I will not be commenting anymore. I think for the time being, if I see anything interesting, I'll say something. Enjoy the battle.
orthodontic Jake gave him a gelignite mouthwash.
You see how this player nudged against the dead tank? He will do it again.
It's such a senseless waste of human life, isn't it?
No one will spot. Everyone has gone to the red line. He nudged the dead tank and he was hit. So the 430U is still there. Very astute of our hero.
You stunned him just as he was waking up.
Orthodontic Jake gave him a gelignite mouthwash.
It is also good that he gives warning. I don't know if anyone pays attention to these warnings, but he gives warnings who's going to shoot and when. And I found that useful because very often friendly players, teammates, just go and try to ram an enemy tank just when the SPG is going to shoot. Okay, here you notice that he fired AP. So here the fired, yes, he fired AP, I think. So he ran out of the splash ammo. He doesn't have the elevation, so he moves so he can get elevation to be able to hit the guy in the swamp. He has loaded AP, so he's not shooting unless he has a good chance of hitting. His teammates have not done a great job defending the red line. It doesn't matter how far back you go. If you have no view range and nobody else has a view range, the SPG is not going to spot for you. It's going to have a worse view range, for sure. Wow.
Bring out today!
That was an armor-piercing shot from like half a mile away, quarter of a mile away. So he just has 2 shells left. Low splash, high explosives.
He's that most rare of criminals, a blancmange impersonator and cannibal.
No! Go!
Total miss. He should have held his shot.
Right! Who threw that?
I move for no man.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
So both enemy tanks left. One missed, the other one bounced. The light tank bounced. And the light tank rammed the SPG
Come on, who threw that?
and done more damage to
apologise for that,
himself.
but I think you'll find this a bit more interesting.
Do you want to come back to my place? Bouncy, bouncy.
Don't come the Brigadier bit with us, dear. We all know where you've been, you military fairy. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I thought that was an amazing finish. So Ace Tanker and Gore's Medal. You get the Gore's Medal if you cause 8 times more damage than the HP of your vehicle. He was second by damage. Really amazing. But it was nothing compared to how much damage this guy is going to do.
Those of you who wish to play it the hard way,
stand upside down with your head under your arm.
So the previous guy did over 5,000 HP damage. A lot of that was ramming near the end. Over 1,000 points of damage were by ramming. And this guy goes right to the red line out in the open. Interesting choice. So this game also starts uneventfully, like the previous one, but hang in there, he's going to do an amazing amount of damage. I have never seen an SPG game where someone did so much damage. Missed by a mile, very awkward start, just like with the previous battle. You see here on the left, nearly like perhaps half the team had gone to the left, but very close to the southwest corner. And the only light tank had gone there, the MX-13 has gone there in the middle of the battlefield, probably inside a bush, but he hasn't spotted anybody at that side. The object 261 is retreating. He has been shot once. He lost most of his hit points, and he sees that the right side is about to fall. And so he left his position. He was on the red line at about J7, maybe. He left that position. He's going into the trees on the left, and the T92 HMC is doing the same thing. They've both seen that the right flank is falling. Now, on the HoloLens, you have a communication expert, which this SPG has. It's not a very good idea to go too close to the other SPG, because if one of you shoots and the tracer is spotted and there's counter battery, the counter battery might hit both of you. So that was a great shot helped his teammate live a little longer. And his teammate is putting on a great fight there. He's not down and out yet. He's pushing him out of a rock so he can be hit by artillery. He's taken out. What a fantastic move by his teammate. And here is tricky time. They're too close together. If that shot was seen, if the tracer was seen, here it is, it was seen, they could both be taken out. And the Object 261, although he had already been counter-batteried, he didn't move. He relocated in time, but he wasn't moving when he was shooting. So he had some battle awareness, but having been counter-battered, you know.
There, poor Flopsy's dead, and never called me mother.
Great shot. Having been counter-battered once, you know that there's an SPG player on the enemy side who has a thing about SPG, so don't stay in place.
I appreciate it.
Okay, the enemy tank destroyers messaged the T92 HMC for taking out that light tank. That was a great shot. So a hero has already more than 3,000 damage, and that was another kill, 2 kills. If I'm not mistaken, or is it 3? When I'm recording, the resolution of the video is extremely low. I cannot read anything. It's a popular free program, but it has this downside that while making the video, the resolution is extremely poor. That was a hit, but he didn't hit the guy who was running away. There was another tank there who got accidentally hit. And if that was a lightly armored tank, he could have gotten well over 1,000 hit points damage there. It was a direct hit. Very lucky. So he already has 4,500. It could be something in the range of 6,500 thereabouts already. And here's another willing victim. Oh, I left it too late. Yeah, it's a problem when you have to traverse your gun and the enemy is moving. You keep traversing, the enemy is moving, then you traverse the hole, and then your aiming circle becomes huge in an SPG. It's a problem. What you have to do is anticipate where you think he wants to go, move your hull first in that direction, and then wait for your gun, arc, your aiming circle to stabilize.
Norwegian Blue's done easily.
Great shot. 620 something damage, or was it 70 something? So he's already close to 5,000, but bear in mind he's got some blind damage. Here he has the intuition that there's an enemy tank there because he has been spotted before, possibly 2 tanks. He holds his aiming point there. Very clever move. Now finally the AMX-13 has decided to do some spotting, being more active. And just as he's getting near to where the enemy tanks are, he stops, and our friend is going to lose patience with the AMX-13. He was a very frustrating teammate. He must have gotten some spot assist, but he did. So there he was. Accidentally, the enemy tank moved, and then he was spotted. And he could have shot him, and he completely missed his shot, and then he misfired as well. He completely missed his opportunity, rather, because he was so frustrated by the light tank. Imagine had he gotten that shot and killed that enemy tank or even stunned him. Sometimes light tanks can be extremely frustrating, and I'm sure you've had battles where the light tanks do stupid things, either stay too passive or they are so active they die in the first couple of minutes. And in a battle like this, to not have a light tank spotting is extremely frustrating. And so the other thing that happens is that near the end of the battle, the people who are surviving are better skilled, and so you get no chance to shoot at anybody because everyone sits somewhere safe. They're low on hit points. They sit somewhere safe. When someone appears, they expect from the last known locations where enemy players might be, so they're kind of pre-aimed more or less. By the time the SPG turns around the hole and tries to aim, enemy tanks near the endgame are taken out by your teammates. So a lot of the time you get most of your damage in the first few minutes of a battle if you're an SPG. She clicked on the map, very clever. She clicked on the map and the whoa, that was amazing. So what is it? Over, I cannot see what it says, but a ton of damage in any case. For sure it's over 4,000. Or is it over 6,000? You will see from his endgame stats, after battle stats, you will see he's done a phenomenal amount of damage. So the last shot was direct hit and pen. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the last shot he took. Or it's the last shot that hit anything, if I'm not mistaken. So a 15-minute battle. That was a very interesting battle, and the two teams still have about 4 or 5 tanks left. Not bad, huh? Oh, that was a close escape. And it's a victory with a cap win. So, Ace Tanker, Bruiser, Gore's Medal again, High Caliber, and Confederate. He finished top by damage And taught by experience, 8,000, over 8,000 damage. Amazing, huh? Bruiser, gold medal, high caliber, Confederate. Gold medal is when you cause more damage, 8 times at least more damage than the hit points of your vehicle. Thank you for watching.